Hello.
Hi.
Um,
Welcome.
yeah, welcome everyone. Do you want to say why it's just the two of us?
Oh yes, it's just me and Chanel tonight because Stacy's lame.
That's so
Just
funny. I was
kidding.
just about to say that. I
Who
was
are
gonna
you?
say Daisy's lame and
Stacey's so lame. She's like working, yelling at patients, doing what Stacy does.
being a nurse. That's what we
Um,
do.
she was gonna record with us, but it was like gonna be at 9 o'clock at night. And if anybody knows me and Chanel, we're in bed by 9. So
Wait, you mean before that, actually?
yeah, honestly, like I like to be like in bed at 9 reading or something.
Yeah, for sure.
So you guys are stuck with me and Chanel tonight,
Yeah,
today, but
yeah,
whenever you're listening to this.
yeah. Whatever night this is, it might be 9 o'clock at night. Who knows?
Yeah,
But yeah, and we're discussing the Hunger Games part of our Hunger Games series, but we're doing specifically the Hunger Games movie or Catching Fire movie, the second book turned into a movie. So that's what we're chatting about because we
we
just
literally,
finished it, both of us.
literally like finished watching it and hopped on here.
Mhm.
Before we get into it too much, should we talk about the little change and little change for the podcast, at least for briefly for the next couple months or something?
Mhm.
We are going to be, instead of new episodes every Tuesday, it'll be new episodes every other Tuesday, just because it's a busy time for everybody. And then just depending if we have like author interviews or something, it might be every week, but right now, consistently, it'll be every other Tuesday. You'll have a new Fiction Fanatics episode.
Yeah, and like our goal is just to like focus on our book of the month, and then like you said, sprinkle in some author interviews with that as well. So yeah, we're
Yeah.
excited.
We're very excited. We have some great authors coming up in the future that we can't wait to share with you guys. More details to come.
Yes, for sure.
But for now, we're continuing on with the Hunger Games summer.
Yes, I know. So great. And I think we both said this was our favorite book. Or one of
Yes.
our favorite books. Yeah. Did you say it was your favorite? I can't remember.
It's out of the original trilogy after, because I've officially read all three of the original trilogy, and I do
Mhm.
think that Catching Fire is my favorite
Yeah.
of the three. It's
Yeah.
probably Catching Fire, Hunger Games, and then Mockingjay.
Yeah. That's the order I put put it all the books into of the original trilogy. Yes. It's just such a good book, which is like crazy because it's like the middle book, the sequel, and
Hmm.
a lot of times I feel like either the first book is the best or sometimes the
Hmm.
finale is the best when you're reading like a series. And so um, I think it's just so unique that this middle book is so amazing. And we kind of talked about this when we covered the actual book. Like, there's not much of like the actual games. Like, it's so
Hmm.
interesting also that
It's
just
just like the last quarter almost.
yeah, yeah. So anyway, yeah, we can.
It's funny that you say that because I feel like in a lot of these kind of like fantasy or dystopian books that we read, like the first book, usually always is like introduces you to everybody. It's a smaller world. And then
Mhm.
when they open it up into like the second book, I think it just can be a lot sometimes. And I just feel like Suzanne Collins and this movie did just such a great job of not overwhelming you, but then still meeting all of these new characters and stuff. And you fall in love with him so quickly. So I'm just, yeah, it's so
Yeah,
good.
it's so good. So okay, we can kind of go general and then we can go
Hmm.
specific scenes. But like, did you like this movie? And like, did you like it compared to the first one? I guess like what were your overall thoughts on the movie?
Overall, I thought it stayed pretty true to the book. Like some minor details or plot points I felt like were changed, but you still got to the same main plot point with it for like, I'm sure pacing
Hmm.
wise. Um, I don't know who this casting director is for all of these movies, but I feel like everybody is cast so perfectly
Hmm.
in this movie. It's
Hmm.
just incredible.
And it's the same lady. I can look her up, but it's the same lady for that was for all of the movies because people have brought her up for Sunrise and the Reaping. They were like, "Wow, this casting is amazing," and has done the original trilogy, and she's did Ballad and Sunrise on the Reaping. So yes, you're right. She's amazing. I'm gonna look her up, but go ahead.
Yeah. But no, just overall, like, everything is amazing. Um, the characters and after reading Sunrise on the Reaping, it's like I'm even more invested into these characters. I was watching with my other sister, and I was just like, I just can't wait for Haymitch's movie to see all
Mhm.
of these characters like young.
Yeah.
Um, but no, I think this movie is so well done. The pacing is amazing. You still hit all of like the important, like, I think the movie did a nice job of condensing the book, and still I feel like everything that's important is in the movie.
Yeah, I totally
So,
agree with that. Her name is Deborah Zane. Yeah, and she did, like I said, all of the Hunger Games movies. Um, so yeah, she's amazing. We love you.
she needs to cast every movie, every book adaptation movie she needs to cast.
And like I said, she's also doing Sunrise on the Reaping. So yeah. Um, but I completely agree with you. I think they kept all of like the major scenes to keep the essence of the book.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and yeah, it was just so well done. Like, because obviously the adaptations are not, nothing's as good as the book.
Mm-hmm.
But I think all of these Hunger Games movies, including Ballad, have been so well done.
Mm-hmm.
Like
I
the
love them all.
yeah.
Like, I love them and I love the movies.
Mhm. Yeah, I feel like I'm like, wow. Because a lot of times, people are just disappointed. Like I remember um the Percy Jackson movies. No, I love
Mm-hmm.
Logan Lerman, but those were terrible. And so I'm really glad that they did like the TV series is so awesome, you know. And yeah, you just get like disappointed when it's
Mm-hmm.
not done right. Um but okay, now we can go. What are things that you don't like, or yeah, what are overall things that you didn't like? And then, like I said, then we can start diving into like little things. Um,
Overall things I didn't like.
if there are like little details, obviously you can say that too. But like, was there anything or scenes that you like were like, oh, I wish they were in there, or things that they changed that you didn't like, or um, yeah.
I'm trying to think.
I was like, I can go first if you don't want.
Yeah, you go first
I was
because I
like, if
can't think
it'll
of
jog
anything
your
right now.
memory.
Yeah.
Um, I think compared to the first book or first movie, because I feel like it was pretty obvious you could tell, but then I also saw like numbers. This had a way bigger budget. You could tell,
Mm-hmm.
like, right, like the costumes were better, like there was like a different director, and it just felt like a bigger budget film, like
Mm-hmm.
the editing, the everything. And so, which obviously is good. Like there was a lot of like I want to say graphics, like like hologram. What is that
I
called?
like the
Yeah,
CGI.
thank
Yeah.
you.
Whatever it is.
I know. So you need like budget, you need money to be able to use a lot of CGI and stuff. But like I feel like what made the first Hunger Games movie so good was one, the director. It was a different director, Gary Ross, and then it switched to Francis Lawrence, and he did every single movie after. He did Catching Fire, All the Mockingjays, Ballad, and now he's about to do Sunrise and the Reaping. And like I really like Francis Lawrence, he's really good, but Gary Ross from the first one, I feel like it was so visceral, the first movie, because of
Mm.
how he directed it. Like um also I think maybe because it didn't have a good big budget, but like you almost feel like you're in the arena with Katniss from the way he shoots it. It's like
Mm-hmm.
chaotic, right? Like almost like a first person
Yes.
point of view. Like she's running and she's like, I don't know, it just feels like you're in there with her, where I feel like Francis Lawrence directing, it's very polished.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very polished Hollywood budget kind of movie, which
Mm-hmm.
is again fine. They have the budget, they're able to, but like I felt like I did and I didn't, because I knew the character, so I did connect.
Yeah.
Like you don't connect as much with it. Like when
Mm-hmm.
I watched it for the first time in the cinema, it's like I was like sobbing the whole time. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, I'm like having a panic attack with her in the arena,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm like, I feel like at any moment I can get killed, you
Mm-hmm.
know.
That's so true.
Like the way he shoots it is like
Yes.
so chaotic. Like it, and I rewatching it, I was like, oh my God, like you're
Mm-hmm.
running with her from the fire. You're like, and it's just not like that in this
Mm-hmm.
movie. Again, that's just the director changes, which maybe they're like, oh, we can pay this fancy director. I don't know.
Yeah. Like
So
it's
I was
good,
just,
but for like a different reason than the first one.
yeah, 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 yeah.
You, I mean, not to always bring it back to this, but I mean that you can. It's kind of the same thing with like the Twilight movies. Like the
Yes,
first one is just like if you seriously feel like this kind of cult classic because of the way that it's done, and then
yes.
once it got a bigger budget and like whatever director and stuff changed, like it was still good. It's just the first one is
Different.
just so different than the other ones.
100%. I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, it reminds me of Twilight. They like it just it blew up. It got and not that it wasn't already big, because like
Yeah,
Twilight was big, Hunger Games was big, but it just like I don't think they knew how big it would like
yeah.
movie wise it would get. And they're like, well, now we got instead of $10 million, we got $100 million. Just I'm
Mm-hmm.
making that up, you know what I mean? But like, so now we can buy this fancy director. We can do all this CGI, you know what I
All the
mean?
stuff.
But it's like, no, but that's what made that movie so good. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
because like you said, Twilight was this indie film almost, you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like, I mean, yes, obviously it was a little cringy, but whatever. We could
We
go.
love a little cringe. Love it. It always comes back to Twilight.
But so that was one of the changes that I was just like again, I like it. It was, but yes,
That's such a good word for it, though, that the first one is more like visceral. That's so
mhm,
accurate. That's a
yeah,
great way to put it.
yes. And I was like, because I was like, why does it feel like this? And I noticed it was the direction, the direct literal director, again,
Mm-hmm.
on top of just the budget or whatever. But the other thing that I noticed was that um and this is something like this was for both of the movies. Um this was for both of the movies, which I actually really like. I'm sure this is probably what you were talking about that you so I guess this is a positive change. Like but I like that we got to see behind the scenes. Like
Yes. You know, they did that in the
we
first
talked
one
about this.
too.
Yes, I was like, we might have talked about this in the first,
Yes.
but I was like getting to see like President Snow, like got to see Plutarch, we got to see like
Mm-hmm.
Haymitch and everything. Like I loved that.
Mm-hmm.
Which again, like I'm sure people are probably like, well, that's different. But I'm like, everything's from Katniss's point of view. And so you just don't
Mm-hmm.
get like this full picture of what's happening. Like,
And
right.
she's an unreliable narrator
Yeah.
too, like at the best of times. So,
Right. So I really liked it. That stayed consistent in this next, like from Hunger Games movie to this Catching Fire movie. And I was just like, yes, like I want to know what's happening. Right. And they brought in like even President Snow's granddaughter, right? Like
mm-hmm.
giving him like little humanity or whatever. Like I said, oh, okay. Sorry, I have a couple more things that I didn't like. I felt like they focused so much on the romance in this movie.
I was gonna say that. So I guess I didn't know if it was gonna be a negative or whatever,
Yeah.
but they really make you in the movie, I feel like
Mhm.
that she's really battling these feelings for Gale.
Mhm.
It's not really what's like happening in the book when you're reading it.
No,
She's
no,
never really battling her feelings for Gale. She's
I know,
always battling how she feels for Peeta, but like Gale's just there.
I know, I know, and it's like, and I think it was like it was making me mad. It was making me mad because I'm like, it almost they made it like a romance in a war film, in a rebellion
Hmm.
film, instead of like, no, it's a rebellion, and like there's a little bit of romance, like
Hmm.
maybe, like you said, she's thinking, what's Peeta doing? Like, is he,
Hmm.
like you said, battling her feelings or what's going on? And then, oh, Gale pops up, and now, like, she's like, oh, okay, I guess kind of I have to kiss him or what? Like, it's like these little sprinkle of romantic moments instead of
Hmm.
like romance everywhere, which again, I
Hmm.
feel like is so capital of them. Of the
Hmm.
film of Hollywood of whatever, you know what I mean? Like, let's make
Hmm.
it this love triangle. And it was just making me so mad because they even changed the first scene that they kiss, Gale and her,
Hmm.
instead of being in that cabin and them talking about running away together and like her trying to like, you know, convince him and him getting
Mm-hmm.
mad and blah blah blah. It's just like randomly in an alleyway. And I'm just
Mm-hmm.
like, the point of that scene wasn't even there. Like,
It's to show that she's only kissing Gale for like his benefit or when she thinks she's helping him.
yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And him being like, because they kiss, and then she like talks to him about the rebellion, tells him about the rebellion, and like immediately his romantic feelings go away. Like he's like, I don't even care about this anymore
Mm-hmm.
because it shows the like he has feelings for her, but like the rebellion always supersedes her.
Yeah.
That was the point that was supposed to be made that I got from that scene. But
Mm-hmm.
because they took that scene away and didn't, it was just a random ass kiss, you don't
Mm-hmm.
get that. You don't get the fact that like he will always put the rebellion first, the people first, his family first, whatever, above her.
Mm-hmm.
And even she does that too. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, she's about protecting her family, but like when they took that scene away and just made it a random ass kiss, like, oh, I have
Mm-hmm.
to do this. Like,
Mm-hmm.
okay. Like, it was just so weird. Like, I'm like,
Yeah. It just changed the whole dynamic of
mhm.
which right, like they're playing up this love
Yeah,
triangle. It
yeah,
was like all on
yeah.
purpose. But yeah. And then it immediately goes to like the whipping scene and then she's like
Mhm.
kissing him again. So like it's like back to back her kissing
Yes,
him.
yes. And then they added a third one in the meadow. That never
Oh
happened.
yeah.
I'm like,
Little Twilight vibes in there, making out in the meadow.
always comes back to Twilight.
But yeah, I thought the same thing when they were kissing in the because I forgot from when I because it's been so long since I've watched Catching Fire when they were kissing in the meadow. I'm like, oh, this is like a lot of kissing in
Yeah,
this movie compared
yeah.
to
So
the
much
book.
romance. So much romance. And I'm like, why? I'm
Why?
just like pissed, pissed.
Because like I just feel like in the book it was always Peeta.
Yeah.
Like the Gale aspect of it, I just feels like I mean, yeah, Gale was there and it was maybe a little bit of a love triangle, but it was Gale was always her best friend, and I think she just felt guilty. But
Mhm.
like she always loved Peeta.
Yes, yes, yes. And like maybe because we can't see like her mind working and thinking it like in a movie, but like it was always Pete, always thinking about Pete, always, yeah.
Also, speaking of freaking Peeta, I love him so much. He is like the me and Katie are watching this movie, and the whole movie we're like, she will never deserve him. Nobody deserves Peeta. Like one, I don't know what they did. I feel like he's so much hotter in this movie
I know.
than I'm like, what happened?
I
It's the
don't
same
know.
person, but I don't know what it is.
I know.
Um,
It's that suit, I swear.
I swear. Well, okay, real fast, and we have to talk about because it just made me think of this because he was so hot. The elevator scene with Joanna Mason
Oh my
when
God.
she's just making like straight on eye contact with him, not blinking, and she's like, "How's it feel that everybody in the world wants to have sex with you?" And Katniss goes to talk, and she's like, "I'm not talking to you." And then she just takes off her dress. Also, speaking of, Joanna
Candace's
Mason's
face.
probably my.
I was really watching Candace's face.
She's just like
I would have been like,
Joanne is my second favorite character of the entire Hunger Games series. I love her
I
so much.
I know I love her, but I just like every time she came on screen, I just started crying because
I,
I just finished Mockingjay and all I'm
I
thinking about it.
know.
When she just says like, "There's he can't hurt me. There's no one else I love," and I'm like, yeah, that's true, but like they still end up hurting you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't. It was just
I can't even get into Mockingjay after I know we'll get into it when we talk about the book, but I'm telling you, I finished it and it's a great book, but it is like the
it's
bottom of
heartbreaking.
the it's so sad that I forgot how sad it is. It's bottom of the barrel of my favorite books because I don't know if I could ever read it again.
Yeah, it's so bad. It's literally
Anyways,
bad. So yeah, you just like I can't even think about Joanna. It's just like heartbreaking. I'm like, oh God.
can we talk about Finnick then?
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. Finnick comes on and he's just talking to her, and I just like love him because he's just so like just above everything. And you know how I love those sugar cubes because I put
They're
them in my
so
tea.
good.
I,
They're
I
just they
bought
hit differently than normal
I
sugar.
bought them in New York. I put them in my tea, and he's like, he puts it in his mouth, and he's like, "Oh, you gotta enjoy something sweet." I'm like, "I want a sugar cube." So I put it. I've never had. Have you ever had a raw sugar cube? Like
Yes, it's so good.
I put it in my tea. That thing's straight. It's straight sugar. I was like,
Well, yeah, it's like you get a little high from
I
it.
was like, oh my God, can't believe he's munching on this.
Talk about like a perfect cast, though. Like, what's that
Mhm.
actor's name? I just forgot it.
Oh,
It's not Sam.
Sam,
Oh, it is Sam.
Sam. Why am I blanking out?
Because he's also, he also stars in my one of my other favorite books, Me Before You. In
Yeah.
that
Oh, I thought you were
movie.
gonna say. I thought you were going to say that other the music one. Everyone loves that one, which I didn't.
The music one. Which one?
Yeah, the music one. Daisy Jones.
Oh, I haven't watched Daisy Jones. I didn't read that book,
Oh,
but
interesting.
it's
Love
I,
her.
I know it would be right up my alley. I love that entire cast of it. I don't know if it's got so hyped up and I just wasn't a part of it before it got hyped up that I
Yeah.
just and then I was like, do I want to read the book or watch the series? And then I just never did either.
Okay, why can't I find his name? Sam Claflin.
Okay, okay. Ugh, perfect Finnick.
I
I
know.
just I love it so much.
No, so good. So good.
He him and Joanna might be the two best characters in this book slash movie though. Like I feel like they just elevate the whole story and give like
Mhm.
so much depth to it, their characters. I
I don't
don't
know. I
know.
love BT and Virus. I
Yeah,
still
them
love
too. Tick tock, tick tock. I kept saying it's a clock.
them. They're my favorite. Um, okay, this reminds me of another thing that I hated. Okay, so in the book, so I feel like this was a theme, which I feel like they didn't have to change, but like this was a theme that like the overarching theme was like there was a plan and the plan was to get Katniss out and like Katniss her requirement was like protect Peeta like I my yeah my requirement or whatever is like to keep Peeta alive, which is why the tributes that wanted to align them with her or were part of the revolution all like saved Katniss slash Peeta, right?
Hmm.
Which is why like the Morphling lady went and protected Peeta. That actually happened in the movie. I was like, okay, that was
Hmm.
accurate. Which is why Joanna went and got BT and Wirus. Like that was
Hmm.
Katniss wanted part of her team. But the one change that I didn't like was, all right, Mags and Finnick were part of like the team or allyship or whatever. But then in the book, you see when the fog comes, like Mags like sacrifices herself because like Peeta was like hurt and disabled and he needed Finnick to like help carry him because Katniss also was
Hmm.
going down, right? So like Mags took it upon herself and sacrificed herself. And in the book, you see like Finnick and Mags kind of like silently communicate and then decide. Like Mags was like, okay, I'm gonna go, and she like sacrifices herself because Finnick was the strongest one to be able to take Peeta, right? But in the movie, um, like Mags like almost like does it by herself, sacrifices
Hmm.
herself and goes, and like it seems like Finnick wasn't in on this like quote unquote plan, and so he's like distraught, yelling for Mags, like
Hmm.
trying to save her, and like it almost seems like Finnick wasn't in on the overall plan at that point.
Hmm.
So I'm like thinking to myself, like, it kind of discredits this idea that like Peeta and Katniss are like the ones to protect. Like and
Hmm.
again, like maybe they were trying to show that like Finnick was obviously upset about Mags. But, like
Hmm.
you see that in the book, like after Mags dies, like Finnick was on the beach crying. Like I think they still could have
Hmm.
showed that, but I was just like I felt like it would have been more beneficial to be like I said, like showing Mags and Finnick being like, okay, you ready? Like,
Hmm.
like she, like, because she knew, because he ends up saying, like, he knew she wasn't going to survive. Like, she knew she wasn't going to survive.
Yeah.
And so, like I said, I feel like it almost discredits the idea that, like, that they had this plan that Peeta was the one to protect and
Hmm.
like Katniss was the priority or whatever. So I don't know. I thought that was just kind of weird.
I
Like,
noticed that too. And I was like, but I wonder if like the movie route with it they took and also just to be like more emotional or something for Finnick is like more of like that was the plan, but maybe like Finnick, even though he knew that she wasn't going to survive it, maybe he was just like hoping in the back of his
mhm,
mind that he would be able to like get her out or something. I
mhm.
don't. But yeah, that I kind of thought that too when I saw that
Yeah,
they definitely like it was already emotionally charged, but they made it even more so with
yeah,
like his reaction and stuff to it.
yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Um, but I'm like, I know, because I'm like, I guess you just have to think about like people who haven't read the books. And so I'm just like, I don't know.
Hmm.
I guess
Yeah.
either way, maybe they wanted them to be emotional watching it, but I feel like they probably would have been maybe confused if they were like, well, why are they doing that? But
Hmm.
for me, I was just like, I didn't like that aspect because Katniss was confused. Like we have to be like, we're Katniss. You know what I mean? We don't know
Hmm.
what's going on. We didn't know why she got hit upside the
Uh-huh.
head. We didn't know, like, we don't find out everything until the end. And so I felt like it would have been more powerful if we didn't
Yeah,
like what was going on. But yeah, I just
I
remember
agree.
seeing I was just like,
And
what?
side note with that, on my TikTok, it's been a lot of behind the scenes of Catching Fire when they were filming it, and it's that
Mhm.
actress talking about playing this role and just like how great it was that her whole job was to have this hot actor carry her around all the time shooting and stuff. And I was just like, yeah, this what a dream job.
I know,
Just
seriously.
have Finnick carry you around while filming these scenes.
I know, seriously.
I would love it.
That's amazing. That's so funny. I didn't even think about that. I know because I saw the same thing, like a few deleted scenes that were really interesting. Oh, speaking of, because one of the deleted scenes, I freaking love Plutarch. Like he might be one of
Oh,
my favorite characters. Do you want to talk about
yes, because I want to come back to what you said earlier
it?
about like adding these behind the scenes with him. I think it is so well done, and Suzanne Collins must have been involved. Well, obviously, like in all of this, because it even lines up with Haymitch's book. I feel like the
Yeah.
way that he acts, and it's
Yes.
just interesting watching this movie after reading Catching Fire and having read Haymitch's book. Everything is just so calculated that he does, and I don't know why I didn't like I just didn't catch it maybe the first time I read and watched the series, but like everything he does, like it just shows you how much he's even smarter than President Snow because he's telling President Snow the things that he's doing is going to make people hate Katniss and kill
Hmm.
Katniss when really everything that he's
Hmm.
doing is like making the capital not want to be on like Snow's side.
Yeah.
Like when they zoom up on Peeta when they think that he's dead and she's freaking out and he's like zoom up on that and then he's like oh get a cannon ready or something like he's doing it because Peeta's gonna die when really he's just showing everybody that Katniss really does love Peeta and is just like riling everybody up. It's just so smart. Yeah, Plutarch is so smart.
It also is just so interesting, because I mean, clearly he was the game maker, but like you almost forget about it because again, you're in Katniss's head, you're only seeing
Hmm.
Katniss's point of view, but like everything was controlled by him, right? Like the
Uh-huh.
spinning of the island, right? Like was controlled by
Hmm.
him, but he was in the heat of the battle when he probably was seeing, right, which we get to see from in this movie. He was probably seeing that, like, oh my God, Finnick was about to die. Or
Hmm.
Katniss was about to get shot or whatever the heck. Like, and so even though it looks like it obviously sucked because they had just made that whole plan and figured out what the clock was, right?
Hmm.
It if you look at it, and he goes, okay, spin them, right? Like he actually was almost like you said, like kind of protecting them because they were going up against the careers and like
Hmm.
it threw everyone off balance so that it kind of like just stopped that battle, right? And I was thinking to
Hmm.
myself, like, damn, like all we were thinking about is like, damn, they just lost that, like I said, that map. But it actually prevented this like bloodbath, right,
Hmm.
against these careers and maybe they wouldn't have survived, right? And again, um, you don't really understand that, like you said, it's Plutarch that's like controlling all of these, right? The
Hmm.
other thing was um he's like, you know, we're gonna do, because Snow's like, I want her executed. Like, I'm so mad. She
Mhm.
this was right after they were in Rue's district, and she's like, I just want her executed. Like, she's not convincing me, blah blah blah. And he's like, well, how about we just up all of the peacekeeper activity and like we just do extra floggings, blah blah blah. Like, obviously that sucks, but he's like, we're gonna show her with like show her that as one of us in the Capitol with her
Mhm.
dresses, right? And we actually don't really get to see that in the movie, but it's a ton
Yeah.
of coverage of her with Cinna and blah blah blah. And it's showing extra coverage of Katniss and like, being all fluffy and everything. And it's almost like a way to like appease Snow, right? Because he
Mhm.
has to, like, if he doesn't want to lose his own head or whatever and lose his job, like, he has to be like, no, I'm just showing her as one of us. But he's like, he's like, we're going to also show all of these executions, all these floggings, blah, blah, blah. And like you said, how is that going to,
Mhm.
like, he's telling Snow, like, oh, that's just going to make them think she's part of the Capitol. But in reality, it's inflaming this rebellion because it's showing
Mhm.
all the terrible things happening in the districts. Like,
Mhm.
of course they're going to be mad. It's literally this visceral reaction of being like, um, okay, in seven, they're
Mhm.
getting this whole, you know, square just got bombed. Oh, and then here's Katniss, here's the Mockingjay. Okay, in eight,
Mhm.
all these executions just happened. Here's the Mockingjay. Like, it's literally like like you said, it's doing the exact opposite of what he's telling Snow that he's
Mhm.
doing. Like, oh yeah, it'll calm them down. They'll be fine.
Well, and also like what you said when they were like sorry, I just thought this when you were talking about it. When they spun the island too, like they had to have some of the careers alive because it wouldn't make sense to electrocute the beach if they were the only ones left.
Hmm.
But yeah, no, you're right. It's just Plutarch is he's just so smart. Yeah. I
Yeah. The
and
only thing I
also
didn't like was like, which would have been cool, obviously it was in the book, was him showing, like giving that hint of his
I
watch to Katniss.
know. I really wish
Hmm.
that would have happened.
Hmm. Because again, like you're supposed to be like, Katniss is so dumb. I mean, we're dumb because we're through her eyes, because I don't think anyone caught that first time reading through. I mean,
Well, and it's just like so quick and then everything's so terrible after it, I feel like, that you just almost forget about it. But I wonder if in like a movie setting, if it would have been too obvious. And maybe that's why they didn't do it.
Yeah, maybe. Or like there just wasn't a way to like design something, like you said, that like
Yeah.
didn't didn't literally replicate the arena. You know what I mean? Like, how do you make a watch look like an arena without like
Mm-hmm.
Snowy function? Yeah, I don't know.
Because
Without
I
being.
remember watching the first time I watched this movie, and it was Finnick, Plutarch, and Haymitch there when she like walks in the hovercraft, like ready to stab somebody. I was shocked that it was Plutarch.
Oh, because you hadn't read the book.
Or what I'm sorry, when I read the book, but it was still
Oh,
shocking to like I guess see it in the no, I
yeah,
had read the book first. When I
gotcha.
read the book, it was shocking. So I'm sure it was shocking for people who watched the
Hmm.
movie.
Hmm. Um, yeah, yeah, because you just think that, yeah, he's capital and
Hmm.
and then especially because you find out that like it's been going on for a year, like they've been planning it for years, right? Like especially from like even Hamish's time, right? He's been
Hmm.
around in Plutarch, which is also why I think the next book is going to be his book. Like I really hope it is. I hope it's his.
Oh, Plutarch's?
Uh-huh. I really hope
Oh.
it is. I heard that somewhere. I read someone had a TikTok that says they think that it's going to be his book about his family, because he has a really like prestigious family in the
Oh
capital,
yeah.
and he also has been, I mean, he's been around, like he hasn't been, obviously he was a game maker at Katniss's games, but like for Hamish's games, he was like media consultant or whatever
Hmm.
in the Capitol. So like maybe it's his rise within the Capitol. It's about his family. I
I
think
wonder
that's
if it's
super
one
interesting.
of his what if it's like one of his family members from like the original what like war or whatever. Because I
Mhm.
watched this TikTok that was like the original trilogy, the first one's about a games, the second one's about a quarter quell, and then the third one is about like the war. And then if you're looking at like the new quote unquote trilogy, the first one is about a Hunger Games, the second one is about a quarter quell, and the third one would be about a war. So That would make so much sense if it was about the first war and it's
Mhm.
Plutarch's
And maybe it's
family.
him, maybe it's him, like maybe it's his grandpa, it
Mm-hmm.
like about the war, and he's like young or something, and maybe his grandpa was in the war or something. I don't know. And maybe he's telling him, or I don't know, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But like I think it has something to do with him, his family, whatever it is.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, because I just think he's such a fascinating character, and he's been involved,
Mm-hmm.
this entire time. Like he has such a
Mm-hmm.
integral part of this entire story. Um, but I've also read that like it might just be about like the media within the capital, right? Like it's such a big deal within the capital. Um,
Mm-hmm.
like how it's portrayed, like, they have so much control, the capital does, on what
Mm-hmm.
goes out. And like I said, he was like media relations, his
Mm-hmm.
original job before he became the head game maker. And so like maybe like his family, or like I said, his origins on how he got into that position, it could just be about like the actual media um within the war, within the games,
Yeah.
whatever. I don't know. That was another theory someone said, like it could just be about like journalism within Canada.
Interesting.
So
Yeah. Hmm.
I don't know, but I really hope it's something about Plutarch because I really like him. He's
I
probably,
love his character.
yeah. Hmm.
He's so fascinating.
Hmm.
Because he's almost like a morally gray character. Because especially,
Hmm.
I guess, and we'll get into it in Mockingjay, but especially like in Mockingjay. So
Yeah,
yeah, he's a very interesting character to talk
he
about.
is. He truly is. But like you want him on your side, like
Hmm. Well,
you-
yeah, he's like the smartest one there.
yeah, not next to my boy.
Tick tock, tick tock.
Um, but okay, what were parts? I know we kind of did a little bit of parts that we didn't like, but were there parts that you did like specifically that either that they changed or that they kept?
I mean, I I loved the book. I didn't think anything should be changed about the book, but I do really like the pacing of the movie. Like, I don't think the pacing of the book would have made sense for the movie.
Mhm.
Because I feel um, like the whole book, the games was just this little part of it, and it's like all this build up and this kind of like stuff before it. So like, I feel like obviously the pacing of the movie is a lot quicker than that, which
Mhm.
I did like for the movie. Like,
Mhm. Yeah,
and
it made
um
more sense in like a movie format.
mhm.
Yeah, because otherwise you'd be like, okay, this is kind of drag it.
um no, I mean honestly, I just like Woody Harrelson as Haymitch is just amazing. Every time he's on screen is just
Mhm.
like perfection, I feel like.
He's good. Oh, he's
Oh
so
my
good.
God. When he's like when she's attacking him with that syringe and she's like and he's like, "Oh, you against the Capitol with the syringe. This is why we don't let you make the plans." Like it's just so great. Um I do feel like I did notice this and I did not hate this. I felt like in the movie they made Katniss and Joanna more likable towards each other, if that makes sense. Whereas I felt like in the movie, um, like, it was just a lot more hostile, and it is hostile between them, but, like, I feel like they joke a little bit more, like, on the beach when Joanna's like, "Love, am I right?" or something like that, talking about Finnick. They just have a more comfortable relationship with each other, it seems like in the movie, whereas in the book, I don't think you really get that until
Mocking.
Mockingjay,
Yeah.
and, like, even, like, a little later in Mockingjay.
Mhm.
So I did like that a little bit,
Mhm.
and what
I know, I'm trying to think what else.
it's like if things are I feel like if things were changed in the movie that I liked, it's not because I liked it better than the book. I just think it made more sense for like
For
even the love triangle thing, like I don't love it, but I understand it for the movie. I just try to think if I hadn't read these books, eh,
hmm.
I understand what they're doing here because you can't get as deep with a movie as a book. So
Yeah.
like right, how I don't know if they
How
could
the
have
person who
explained that
has it read it.
relationship better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How they, I know, I was thinking about that, like how they would have understood it, or how would they have yeah, picked up on it, which again is why I really like that you get kind of the behind the scenes, like the game makers, you get President Snow.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. And even like you get to see Gale like working in the mines and like
Mhm.
kind of his reaction to some of this stuff. Like because
You
you
definitely
don't
get more
really,
him.
yeah, you're like, oh, he's not real happy, obviously, that they're
Mm,
kissing or whatever, like, would you just assume from the comments, or you would just kind of, you know, take a guess that, right, like he's not,
mm-hmm,
and like also just the fact that like all of this stuff is just being broadcast. Like he can't even get away from it at work.
mm-hmm,
He can't even get away from it at home. I think that was another thing that like you realize it gets
mm-hmm.
being shown all the time, which I'm sure he's not happy about seeing.
I know that makeout scene on the beach between Peeta and Katniss. I
um,
love it.
yeah.
But they just kept, I feel like all the important parts were in there. Like the pearl was in there, the locket with Gale, Primrose and her mom was in there. Yeah, like I feel like all the important stuff.
There's no District 12. The
Oof.
baby.
The baby.
No.
I'm telling you, when at the end of it, when Gail tells her there's no District 12 and she's so upset, and then she like gets really angry at the camera, like you see this like whole like her just like running through all the emotions so quickly. I like turned to Kate, I was like, here we go, here we go. I'm like so excited to watch, well, kind of watch Mockingjay now.
I don't even know if I've seen the first one. Maybe I have seen the first one. I don't even remember. I got
I honestly, I don't real it's I know the thing that's crazy is that I know that I've rewatched Catching Fire and The Hunger Games like in the last couple of years, but I do not think I rewatched Mockingjay. I think it's
Mhm.
because it's just so upsetting
Yeah.
to watch and to read. Chanel, it was so upsetting for me to read it. I'm like not in the headspace to be reading this book
No.
series right now.
No.
I was just sobbing reading Mockingjay the
I
whole
know.
time.
I know. I definitely didn't watch part two of Mockingjay. I know I didn't. I don't even know if I watched the first one because I
I
was just
cannot wait to maybe we should try to like
watch.
watch it and record as we're watching it so people can get your live reactions to it. I would like sell my soul almost to get your reaction to watching Breaking Dawn Part 2 for the first time.
Oh
It's
man.
just like one of my favorite memories of all time. And now that's trendy on like TikTok or whatever now. Like these people reacting to this. Have you seen some of these men watching Breaking Dawn Part 2 for the first time and their
Oh, it's
significant others
crazy. It's
recording them?
crazy. It's
This
crazy.
one guy's almost in tears when it's Carlisle. He's like,
Because it's, I mean, biggest plot twist slash change to the book of all time.
try
Like,
being in the movie theater with like somebody like with people watching this for the first time and like silence. Like people are fucking shocked. Silence. Like it
because
is
I was thinking in my head because it had been like 10 plus years since I'd read that book, and I was obviously obsessed with Twilight. But I'm thinking to myself, did that happen? Like, I don't remember this
it's
happening.
almost I'm telling you, watching that movie in the theaters was like watching Endgame in the theaters for the first time when everybody started disappearing and it's just silence. It's like everybody is so shook to their core and upset that they're just nobody's even breathing. They're just like, what?
I mean, it was crazy. I was like in shock, and then I was just mad because I'm just like, what? Like,
All the good ones start dying first. Like,
what is happening? And then they're like,
don't worry, Suzanne Collins isn't faking us out. Just everybody really dies.
yeah,
Like,
right. It's not fake death. It's real. It's all real. Game of Thrones style.
oh God.
But yeah, yeah, we need to watch it for sure. Ugh, once
Um,
mentally ready.
mhm.
But
Yeah,
no,
but honestly, these movies, all of them, even the two, like the newer movie of this, it's all so well done. I feel like it just really stays true to the heart of the books. I feel like
yeah, yeah. I'm like so excited to read Rich's book. Like you don't even
they're
understand.
filming right now. Have you seen any of the photos?
I've seen a couple, but I'm trying not to look at it. I don't like spoilers.
I know I haven't been sending them to you. I just send them to Stacy because I know you don't like it, but
I
it's
literally
gonna
I
be.
saw the actual spot where the actual games are. And
Hmm.
then, each time they like build something new, I'm like, "Ugh, I can't be watching this because like I'm gonna know what it looks like before they
Hmm.
even. I don't want that. I want it to be a surprise. So, um, yeah, I can't. I gotta stop. I'm glad you're not sending it to me. Thank you.
I'm not doing it.
No spoilers, no spoilers.
No spoilers. I love spoilers.
You're crazy.
I know. Anything else you want to talk about Catching Fire movie besides how amazing it is and everybody needs to
Oh, yeah.
rewatch it if they haven't?
So, oh, okay. One comment. I freaking love Stanley Tucci. I mean,
Oh my God.
chef's kiss
Oh my
again.
God.
I mean, he is an amazing actor, and all like he's an amazing actor, period. But to play that character, because that's a really we don't see that character that often in the movie. And again, it's from Katniss's point of view, but like what a good character, because you have to see Caesar Flickerman, you have to balance the audience, the capital, plus the districts are watching you, right? Like, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure he obviously knows that there's a rebellion too. So he has to be like
Mm-hmm.
mindful, right? Especially when like all the tributes are holding hands and the audience is
Mm-hmm.
getting upset. Like he
What
is
about when Joanna's like losing her mind on stage and she's like, one woman's opinion, everybody? I died. I died.
like, I mean, he has to take in the temperament of the people he's interviewing, the audience, and again, like know that he's being broadcasted across the districts
Mm-hmm.
and like and and not only put on a show and entertain and get this information, but also like I said, just like temper the crowd. And
Mm-hmm.
he clearly does such a good job, at least from like I said, from Katniss's point of view in the books, but like you see it so done so well through Stanley Tucci. Like he, like
Mm-hmm.
'cause even like in both movies so far, he's like, oh gosh, that was one of my favorite tributes. And now we're all like, I mean, this he's like a fucking news broadcaster,
I
like
love it. I
just
love it.
announcing a murder, and now under the weather, like
Mm-hmm. No big deal.
like oh my God, it's so
It's perfect casting.
yes, perfect casting, but it's so spot on and amazing,
Mm-hmm.
yet so cruel. Like
I know. I know.
these kids and these tributes. So anyway, he I just had to give
Yeah.
him
No, that's
kudos.
important. Some kudos. I love it.
So yeah, anyway, I thought he was great. But yeah, love
Yeah.
this movie.
Go
Uh,
watch it. Go watch it.
Yeah, yeah, we'll come back with Mockingjay next.
Yeah. Everybody mentally prepare for it.
Yay. Yes.
I'll have to mentally prepare to talk about it again.
No, I know. And we'll be back with Stacy.
Yes, if we'll make her come back this next time.
Yeah, yeah.
Stop yelling at people. We need you on the podcast. We miss you.
Right. Right. All right. Well, thank you everyone for watching, and I'll say Stacy's line.
Oh
Read the
yeah, yeah,
book. Woohoo.
yeah. I love